Dabblers, it's Floz. Welcome back to another Flosstube video. Today's video will be about my March stitching update. If that's what you're interested in, then keep watching. If you are a subscriber already, thank you so much for coming back and tuning in and watching my content. If you're new, just a friendly reminder that A Couple of Dabblers is a channel that's owned by both myself and my husband JP. Now, as you can see, I do cross-stitch related content, but my husband JP does wargaming videos. So it could be battle reports talking about what his thoughts will be about certain things. But together we also do a hobby with us. So it will be me stitching and him painting. We also like to talk about pets. We have greyhounds and just bits and bobs. We want to share with you whatever we like to do separately and together. So if that sounds pretty cool, then please make sure to subscribe to our channel and like our videos so you don't miss out on future contents. May it be weird or what you're interested in. Now, I normally start my video by, I guess, telling you what I've purchased this month, well, the March. Forgot to say, today is 2nd of April, so March has gone by very quickly and a lot has happened as well in March. You might have seen a snippet of it from my previous 2 vlogs, and it was my first time doing vlogs. The first one in particular was pretty popular and I was kind of overwhelmed and I was very happy that it was well received. So if you've watched it, then thank you so much, and if you've left me a comment, thank you again. I think from now on I will probably do about 1 vlog a month, but then I have to carefully choose which week. So I'll do about a week content. Yeah, I'll have to see which week I want to do. Because my work schedule, I mean, in terms of workload, sometimes I can't control. So hopefully it's not a week that's super busy, but I will carefully select it. So you get to see me more or see what I do. Anyways, enough rambling. So normally I start my video by telling you what I've purchased during the month. I did purchase something. It's a second-hand Dimensions Gold Collection kit called a Summer Stroll, but I haven't received it yet. I literally just purchased it from Aussie Cross Stitch Stash Unload group a few days ago. Hopefully I'll receive it soonish. Now, I can't quite remember how much it was. It could be $30 or it could be $35. And the shipping was $12.95. So I will double check after this video when I'm editing and I'll put the information there. So I think my budget would have been, 60 something to begin with in March. And after that, I'll have less than $20 left. But it's April, so another $50 for me again to purchase stuff. I wasn't expecting to buy anything, to be honest, in March, but the opportunity presents itself because that kit's actually not cheap normally. So I thought 30 something Aussie dollars was a pretty good price, and I wanted it anyways. So it's one of those kits that I do initially want. Okay, since there's no haul, let's jump right on to something else. So if you've watched the vlogs, you would have seen little clips of JP and myself, I guess trying different things to frame some projects I've done. Now, we have collected them from the frame store. We actually took 2 projects plus 1 more, but it's a like Chinese painting but I think it was framed a long time ago, so the frame job looked pretty shabby and we wanted to just refresh it. So we took a bunch of stuff to the frame store and they called us about 3 weeks after. We picked everything up Thursday. So that would have been, what, 30th? Anyways, so the end of March. So there's the Neuro Stem Cell Electron Microscope for JP. He could actually have taken it to work and displayed it already on Friday, but I told him I needed to make this video before he could grab it. So that's what we ended up doing. It's really cool. I pretty much left the selection to JP because, you know, it's for him. There's no point of me determining how it should be framed. He would be the one that display it in the office on his desk. So because it's for display purpose, instead of doing the string, we added, you know, $5 for this so it can sit there. He wanted the simple like black frames, and in terms of matting, they showed us some like dark colors to match, you know, the black background, but this one, I'm not sure whether you can see, it actually had a bit of like reflective, it's slightly textured, and he said it's very similar to the pictures he gets when he uses like the software, or maybe it's like the background of the pictures he takes, I don't know, with the Microsoft software, I'm not sure, but yeah, he really likes the combination. So now that I've made this video, he can take it to work now. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turns out. Now there's also the wedding ride. I cannot take this wrapping off because it's a gift. Whenever we're meeting the couple, I'll just try to get it closer to you. Now originally I wanted silver, so I wasn't sure what kind of framing selections the frame shop would have, but in my mind I wanted a silver vintage looking frame, but they actually didn't have much silver selection, so we went for like a pretty muted gold with some markings there. So it's still, you know, fancy. And the frame store person recommended blue toned matting, so we went with that, and we were just going through many different choices and we ended up choosing this one. I think it's really nice. Yeah, I really like it. I hope they like it too. Because this was the very first completed cross-stitch project that I did, the stitching was not great. I mean, now, even now, my stitching's not good, but, you know, this was literally like the first few months. And then eventually when I decided to change this, I realized the back stitching was not good because the cross stitches like underneath was not even, so I just went with it. I mean, overall I think it looks pretty good still. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. Now that's a bit of excitement to start off the video, considering I don't have my horse to back me up for March. Okay, another thing is we did recently adopt 2 greyhounds, 2 boys, hence the cushions. So I bought a few cushion covers. I haven't made a video with them in the house yet. So I don't know whether they are going to suddenly run around the house or come over and ask for pats or make whatever noise, just so you know. Okay, warning. So I hope you don't mind. Okay, now to progress. Normally I leave my life update towards the end if I could, but I have to say, at the start of March, I did do my keyhole surgery to remove a cyst. So that definitely impacted my stitching time. So I ended up out of action for quite a while, which was kind of different from what I expected. They said the recovery time would be pretty fast. I even read some websites said like 4 to 7 days, which means technically after 4 days you could have gone to work, but there's no way for me, like I could not. So I was out of action for a while and I was pretty bummed about it. But yeah, just so you know. Now it's all good. I'm feeling pretty okay, except for, you know, the incision spots are still a little bit red. Now they're getting itchy. I'm not sure whether they will scar, but what can you do? Okay, so the first project I'm going to show you is Napping Kitten. Now it is a gold collection petite from Dimensions, and that's the preview. Now I am stitching this little number with Bernadette from Burn Stitches. I can confidently say that I have more area completed than Bernadette because she was very focused on her Athena from Mirabilia, and she's finished that project as well, and it looks gorgeous. So I think because she was pretty obsessed with that project, she didn't really work on Napping Kitten much. So yeah, I've done quite a bit this month, and this is the project I did the most in March. Now, I will show you so I keep this project in a Nerge plastic hoop. It's number 2. So 145mm by 165mm. It doesn't quite cover the whole project, but you can use it and have enough area to work on most of the project, so that's quite nice. And that's where I'm up to. So I'll put a comparison picture here maybe. And I'll get it closer to you. So I was really trying hard to complete the upper area because I wanted to start back stitching already. There's not heaps of back stitching, but at least I want to get it started because otherwise it's very time consuming towards the end. So yeah, I did a lot more half stitches. I really enjoy doing half stitches, although I do get confused sometimes. So in terms of back stitching, I use basket weave method and the coverage is okay. So this one is on 18 count Ada. Everything was from the kit, and this is made in China, so it's the Chinese print with the like organizers. I don't braid them. Braid. I don't braid them. I know Bernadette likes to make sure everything looks nice, but I'm not fussed. So yeah, I really enjoyed working on this. It's quite fun.
Rocket? Sorry.
So, you would have heard JP telling Rocket off because Rocket had a little injury and we're trying to stop him from lifting up or like getting rid of the bandage. Sometimes they don't know what's good for their own sake. Anyways. So yeah, I really enjoyed working on this, and I'll tell you some figures as well. So altogether, I've worked on Napkin Kitten for 26 hours and 50 minutes and for 12 days. So I worked on 2nd of March, 3rd of March, and originally I wanted to just stop there and move on to something else so I can, work on all my whips. But then a viewer actually asked me about this project regarding like how it went or how much progress I've done in one of the vlogs, and that made me want to work on this again. So then I went back to this one on 20th at night. So then I was pretty much religiously working on this one from 20th night to 30th of March. Even though I said 12 days, first of all, on 29th of March, there was no stitching, and 21st, I only worked on this one for 20 minutes before work. 24th, I did 15 minutes before work. So there were 2 days that I technically did work on it, but it was really short. What can I tell you about it? So, I don't know whether you can see the trunk area. A lot of the cream color is actually a blend, and because it's a blend, it looks very messy to me anyways. I'm hoping with back stitching later on, like with, I don't know, the area looking more full, it'll look a bit neater, but for now, if I scrutinize it, I still think it looks messy. And if you're interested, this needle minder is from Inchworm Designs. I'll link the description down below. As always, I try to provide as much information as I can regarding, I guess, the accessories that I use, where you can purchase them. So yeah, if I can help businesses, why not? So yeah, that's this one. And then I worked on a good tyke. So that's a pattern I purchased digitally from Long Dog Samplers. I guess it's my recovering piece. So I worked on it while I was recovering from surgery, and also I work on it in honor of Amy, who's passed away, our previous greyhound. I think last time when I showed you, I just showed you the preview from my iPad, but I think it's better to just put a preview there. It's easier to see anyways, post-production. Now, this is my progress. So you would have seen my progress in my vlog already. I haven't done any more, I don't think, after the vlogs. So if I put a preview up, you would have seen it's very different. This is a hand-dyed fabric from a subscription box. You could pay more to add on a hand-dyed fabric, and the fabric is called Lily Pad. So I think the color is pretty accurate in the camera. It's mostly blue with the middle, you know, being green like a lily pad. So yeah, and I've changed a lot of the colors as well. Obviously, most of the outlines are black and I didn't change that, but yeah. I changed everything else. I didn't want to use like new colors. I just wanted to use the threads that I've already got. It doesn't matter what colors they are really, because you know, flowers, leaves, they can be anything. And the preview chose pretty weird colors anyways. So I just thought I'd use my imagination and see how things go. Yeah, originally I wasn't sure about that red border. But yeah, I think I like it. It's quite bright. Yeah. Did I say? No, I didn't. So this is 32 count hand-dyed fabric, even weave. Yeah, these are the threads that I use. The red border is a Threadworks floss. It's 1090. It's like a variegated red. Very pretty. And the green on the leaves is a Silks for You. And I have yeah, variegated green. It's a lot more subtle. And it's very soft and puffy. Yeah, it's quite fluffy. Very different from the DMC cotton threads. Oh, I didn't... You know what? I will take it out one more time so I can put in the... Ooh, put in the progress picture. You can see the change. So the collar area is completely done now. Well, I guess color converted. And I'll tell you some figures as well. So for a good take, I only worked on it for 2 days, and altogether it's 8 hours and 45 minutes. So I worked on it on 8th and 10th. Okay. And then I'll show you Victoria Elegance. So it's a Dimensions Gold collection again. I purchased this one secondhand. It is a, it's a US print. It's still available, I'm pretty sure, but it's only the Chinese print now with the organizers, you know. The US print always comes in a bundle of thread, and the instruction will tell you how long each color is, and you have to sort them. It'll tell you how to sort. So yeah, that's the preview. Yeah, last time when you saw it, I said all the cross stitches were done. Now I did try to backstitch, and I think backstitching's done as well now. And I started couching. Yeah, sorry, with the opal threads. I don't like them. And I don't know. It's so you're supposed to use the opal thread as, you know, the thread on top, and then use the like the white color to fix them. I mean, it's shiny. Can you see it? But yeah. Quite nice, eh? The difference here, it should be, I think the difference is so subtle you wouldn't have seen it because it's just backstitched, not enough backstitched. But yeah, now I'm contemplating on whether to wash it because the rest will be couching, French knots and beading, and there's also ribbon embroidery. Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about like the colors running, but I really want to wash it because I've been working on it for a while. And yeah, I feel like it might be dirty. Like if I wash it, the colors will stand out more. And last time when I made the video, I asked if someone's got experience with the US print of this. I was hoping someone could tell me whether I could wash it without any issues, like whether there was gonna be any problem with like the color running, but I haven't heard anything. So yeah, please help me out if you know. But yeah, I really want to wash it and iron it. Yeah, and hopefully during April I will finish finish all the couching and do some French knots, maybe. And I have to tackle the ribbon embroidery. So yeah, did I say this? So everything about this project was from the kit, and the fabric is 28 count even weave, and you stitch 3 over 2, 3 strands over 2. I don't know whether you can hear my stomach rumble. I'm really hungry. I need to start cooking soon. Okay, so Victorian Elegance, I only worked on it for 2 days as well. It's 11th and 20th. I worked on it for about pretty much 6 hours. So here I wrote 5 hours and 55 minutes, but it's 6 hours. It didn't seem like much was done for 6 hours because backstitching, you know, you have to count a lot, and I didn't really mark the chart in a user-friendly way. I like used the ball pin, you know, the pen, and like obscured a lot of the backstitching, so I really had to look. So yeah, that was not very smart of me. Oh, and the countryside, I need to get it on Take 2. So the next project is the countryside by Stitch DMC. It is a kit from Amazon. I purchased it and hoping I could finish it and gift it to my parents back in China. I didn't realize how big it was, but here we are. So I'll show you the preview. It's not the best picture, but yeah, it's just supposed to be a very relaxing autumnal project. And it's on 14 count Ada, 2 over 1. And all the threads were, you know, from the kit. And because of its size, I use a Lowry stand and quantum frame. So this is where I'm up to. Dare I say, I think I made pretty good progress. I'll do a comparison up there, maybe. Yeah. Now I can get it closer to you. So I mostly touch it, worked here. I filled in a lot of the white again, and the colors should expand towards this side again. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but just so you know, technically I should have started like not right on the grid, but before the grid. 10 stitches before the grid, but I forgot about it. So now the project actually ends here. There's not that much margin to frame, but hey, I'll take it. I was hoping maybe like the edge of the project will be boring enough so maybe I can cut it off, but unfortunately I don't think I can, but that's okay. Yeah, I did a lot more, and I think I'm at the end of page 4 somewhere here. Now the page actually ends quite far down. I decided not to go all the way in there to complete a page, rather just go horizontal until I can roll my bars, so then it's more comfortable to work. So yeah, I'm quite happy with my progress on this, and I have to say I really didn't want to change the project when I was working on it. I was kind of addicted to it. Now, what can I tell you about that? So I stitched on the countryside for 6 days, altogether 16 hours and 25 minutes. And I worked on it so from 12th to 14th, that's 3 days. And then I worked on 16th, 18th and 19th. So that's pretty much the week-ish when I returned to work. Maybe just a bit before that. Anyways, so yeah. What can I tell you? There's not much. So if you've watched my previous videos before, you would have known I actually have one more whip and a felt calendar. It's like a bejeweled calendar. You stitch the sequins on there. So I have another whip that's called Wedding Sampler by Teresa Wensler. I normally work on all the whips every month. I try to anyways, but this month I really didn't feel like working on them. As I've previously mentioned, I worked on Napping Kitten before my surgery, and then after my surgery I was hoping to work on Wedding Sampler, but I wasn't feeling great right off the bat. Even when I eventually could stitch, I felt like I wasn't in a good state to really deal with like complicated stitching. You know, like you have to count a lot, there's quarter stitches, there's like specialty stitches. I felt like I wasn't in the right mindset, so I didn't end up doing Wedding Sampler. Instead, I changed it to a good type, and I think that was a good decision. But because I ended up obsessing over like one project after the other project, so the Wedding Sampler was neglected. I just didn't end up working on it this month. I'll work on it this, like, when I say this month, I mean I didn't work on it in March. So in April, I will definitely try to work on it a bit more. And the felt calendar. Well, it's supposed to be a calendar for this year, and then, you know, like a quarter of this year is gone and I still haven't finished it. I do feel a bit bad, but that just goes to show I enjoy stitching more than beading or sewing on sequins. So, I mean, it'll get finished whenever it gets finished. What else? So overall, March had 31 days and I had 10 days with no stitching. So pretty much 1/3 of the month I wasn't stitching. So with the 10 days no stitching, 5 days were during recovery. I literally could not stitch. Yeah, I was just feeling so tired. And the other 5 days were due to, busy work schedule. So when I went back to work, the first week I took it easy. I tried to leave on time. I think only one day the workload was not good and it looked like everyone had to stay back quite a bit, so I stayed for half an hour because I felt bad. But the other days I just left right at 10 p.m. I work 2 to 10. But then the next few weeks was bad. Especially this past week. It was horrible because, I don't know, the flow of work was just chaotic and we ended up dealing with everything towards the end. And Wednesday and Thursday, we worked until like after 1 a.m. So it was like a massive shift. It was like 11-hour shift. And the 3 of us were exhausted. So yeah, we were missing 2 people. So that's why. And overall this month I did 56 hours of stitching. It's technically 55 hours and 55 minutes, but pretty much 56 hours. And compared to last month, which was 50 hours, I actually did more, despite many days without any stitching. So that means I had pretty good quality stitching days whenever I got to stitch, which was nice. I mean, technically I had a lot more days off, with surgery, recovery, and there's also, I think, a public holiday, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, so that's it for whips. Life updates. I mean, I've told you the 2 main things. First, I got my surgery done. The cyst is out. And I also did my 2-week specialist review just to see how the incisions have healed. Apparently, according to the specialist, they've healed quite well. I did ask her about scarring. She said it's unlikely, but when I touch them, they're still quite bumpy. Right now they're a little bit itchy, depending on where where the incisions are. The incision that's around the more sensitive area is still kind of bruised. I guess that one takes longer time to heal. And then I've got my 6-week review coming up, and that one is a phone call, and that's supposed to be about the menstruation post surgery. So yeah, hopefully everything goes well. And also, after they took out the cyst, they actually did, biopsy on it, and apparently it's nothing sinister, so it's just a normal cyst, which is good. Medical wise, I've got a CT scan with contrast coming up. I haven't booked it, and that's to double check my kidney cyst, because apparently one of them was really big. So if you don't know, I've got polycystic kidney disease, and it is a genetic disorder, I guess. So yeah, right now my kidney function's fine, everything's normal, but they just want to keep an eye on some of the bigger cysts I got on my right kidneys, I think. And one cyst, well, originally they thought it was a kidney stone because it had a structure to it. So the GP referred me to a urologist, and the urologist told me to do an x-ray and a normal CT scan. And after that, he said, no, it's not a kidney stone. It looks like one of the cysts had like a complex cyst wall. So that wall had a bit of structure. So then I had to do a CT scan with contrast to see what the structure is on the actual cyst wall. And then after that, I need to see the urologist again for review, depending on how the results go. What else? So I guess that's all medical wise. And yes, JP and I adopted 2 boys, and you would have seen them in the vlog if you're interested, especially the second vlog. It's called Safe and Hound because there was so much greyhound in it. So the big one is Rex and the smaller one's Rocket. Rex and Rocket. We thought it was meant to be that the name just kind of names rhyme. So Rex is from Greyhound Safety Net, and apparently he was ready for adoption for about 6 months, but they only had one other couple that was remotely interested in him, at least inquired about him. So he was stuck with the same foster family for 6 months. Eventually, we came along and, seemed the right fit, because we didn't really mind the size of the greyhound, and he is definitely a big boy. He is very enthusiastic, can get very emotional, as in very excited very easily, and he is super affectionate. And the smaller one, Rocket, is from Racing to Rehome. They are, I think, a bit of a new organization. It seems like most of the people involved are pretty young. And they also sell like greyhound gears. So like beds, clothes, accessories, anything. And all the proceeds go to their running cost. So originally, we wanted to adopt Rocket first and then Rex the next week, but somehow stars have aligned and we ended up having them like at the same time pretty much, and they're getting along pretty well, except like last week when JP went home one day, he realized both of the dogs had injuries. Rocket had a piece of skin missing, like on the inner leg area. He said it was like a thumbnail size, but it's actually bigger. So we didn't end up taking him to the vet. We wanted to treat him ourselves. And to prevent him from licking excessively, we like bandaged and put antiseptic creams ourselves. And then JP was worried that we might have not done the right thing or like might have not treated it properly, so he wanted to get a vet to check, and the vet was pretty happy with what we've done, but the vet did say if we sent Rocket to them straight away, the vet would have stitched it, and maybe the recovery time would have been much shorter. But now we need to wait until the skin grow back, and it takes weeks. So we really need to control him from licking, or like not control. It's hard to control him. He just, like dogs are very obsessed with licking. They think it's making the wound heal faster, but it's really making it worse. So we just need to protect the area, bandage it well, and make sure he can't get to the actual wound. So that's what we have to do. So yeah, they have been getting along quite okay, except for that, I guess, accident. We don't really know what happened. Yeah, what else? So when we're both at work and no one at home, we just put them in the backyard, and they seem pretty chill, because whenever JP comes back, he always sees them just, chilling on their beds, looking or sleeping. So that's good. And we've done we we wanted to do a greyhound walk, but we, I guess, didn't manage to get there on time because we were trying to do some dog fitting into the car business. Anyways, but we ended up seeing some greyhounds anyways, and they seemed really well socializing with the dogs, which was very different from Amy. So now we're thinking we can take them to all the greyhound walks. We can even try taking them to farmers market, because I mean they might get some pats. They both like pats, so they might do very well with that. And we also want to eventually try taking them to cafes, obviously outdoors, and see how they can cope with that. What else? So yeah, life is really busy right now. The house used to be so quiet, but now it's like everything's always happening. It's either them, you know, sleeping very soundly, or suddenly from 0 to 100 they're running everywhere and asking for pats. And also I like these days I get up really early, like 8 o'clock is early for me because I work late. So I get up early, I have to feed them, because with Amy, she ate like once a day, but with these two boys, they need their twice daily meals. So I have to get up and feed them and walk them. Rocket in particular really enjoys his walk, and he's really fit because he's the younger one. He's not even 3, and he just got off racing not too long ago, so he's still, you know, all muscular and lean and ready to go on adventures. So he needs his exercise. Rex, we think he's a bit overweight, a bit chubbier, and he's quite unfit, but I think he's getting better with keeping up with us, and he's just happy to tag along on anything. So yeah, we've had the dogs for 3 weeks. We're still getting used to each other. Rocket still has this like defecating problem at home. I think originally it was because of the diet was not quite right, and now it's possibly because we just slept in too much. He has to go out like early, so we're still trying to work on that. And in terms of April stitching wise, I think I want to focus more on the things that might get done, and wedding sampler that didn't get stitched at all in March. So that means I will hopefully focus more on napping kitten again, the Victorian elegance, and yeah, wedding sampler. So yeah, it looks like this year I might get a bit more productive, because it looks like things are getting, you know, close to being finished. What else did I not mention? Oh, and then the felt calendar, I'll just, you know, it will get finished eventually. Yeah. It seems like, I don't know, I think life has gone back to normal, kind of. It's nice. It's nice to have a purpose always, you know. You get up for your dogs, your fur babies, and you come home and seeing them like, you know, wagging tails and very happy to see you. Yeah, busy but happy. That's essentially what it is. Filming wise, I want to do a stitch with me, like really badly. I just gotta get the time. April should be pretty good because there are quite a few public holidays. So I want to utilize one of them and do a stitch with me. JP and I also want to do a hobby with us, so we can talk about, you know, the transitioning of having dogs, especially we had 2 in one go. And it's really a learning curve, and we want to share that. What else? And it seems like we just hit 500 subscribers. I mean, you know, the subscriber counts always fluctuate, but we hope it will stay above 500, and eventually we'll be able to do community posts. I heard it's only like a daily post, you can only do one a day, but still it will be nice to at least tell you, you know, a video is coming out or what we've been doing, instead of not saying anything and you don't know what's going on and how come, you know, there's no video, or how come suddenly there are lots of videos. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, and thank you so much for subscribing and, you know, tagging along on our filming journey. It's been fun. So I guess that's the end of the video. If you want to ask me something, comment on something, just make sure to, you know, comment down below. I try to reply as fast as I can, and I do like replying. So yeah, interact with me if you want. And what else? That's it. Make sure you stay safe, stay happy, you know, continue stitching one stitch at a time. Eventually the projects will get finished. And that's it for me. I'll see you in the next video. May it be a vlog, a stitch with us, a hobby with us, whatever. Bye!